Hey guys, what's going on? It's Carl here, back with another video. So you're on the fence whether to grab the brand new 6S or the 6S Plus. These are top 5 reasons why you should not grab either of these devices. And just remember, I'm not saying that the iPhone 6S is terrible. Never get it. Just consider these things when purchasing this expensive piece of machinery. And that will kick things off with number 1, which is price. It is no secret that the iPhone 6S and 6S Plus are now probably the most expensive smartphones that you can buy on the market. Checking out the prices on the Apple site, you can see that the 6S retails for $650, and that's only for a 16 gig model. Up that by $100 if you want to go for the more standard 64 gigs, because that is probably the best choice or option that you can go for. Coming over to the Canadian site where I live, $1,159 for a 64 gig iPhone 6S. That's a bit of a combination of the Canadian dollar sucking so much, but it is so much effing money. Combine that with tax, I walked out with a iPhone 6S Plus costing me near $1,300. And if you take a look at some of the competition, I'll introduce the OnePlus 2. This is labeled as the flagship killer. This retails for $329 for 16 gigs or $389 for 64 gigs. Huge price difference, but minimal difference in terms of performance. I'll let you guys be the judge on that. Number 2, storage options. How Apple thinks it's alright to have a 16 gig model in 2015 still completely blows my mind. Why they didn't choose to make 32 gigs the standard, I still have no idea, but it seems that Apple can get away with it. When you take a look at the 6S 16 gig model, I've got a pretty basic setup here. Just a couple social media apps installed, not too many photos. I'm sure this is the bare minimum you'll need. You only have 8.5 gigs left for your own personal files, which is in no means enough for anything. The 6S now records in 4K, and expect all of those files to eat up your storage so quickly. Not to mention, we do not have any support for a micro SD card. That's pretty standard, but if you take a look at some of the other flagships that are offered, 32 gigs is the bare minimum. Then on top of that, Apple decides to charge an extra $100 just to upgrade to a 64 gig model. This is madness. Number 3, performance. Don't get me wrong, the 6S has the brand new A9 chip with the M9 Motion coprocessor. It kills it on the Geekbench 3 benchmark scores, and it does outshine the iPhone 6. But in actual real-world use, when you compare app loading times using the actual phone on a day-to-day basis, I found that there wasn't too much of a difference in terms of performance. Loading times were almost identical. Everything that I threw at the 6S, the 6 could handle just as well. And I compared the 6S to other Android flagships, and you'd be pretty surprised by the results. I will leave all of those down below in the description box. Number 4, 3D Touch. And I know that 3D Touch can be pretty useful sometimes, but the fact that Apple has highlighted this as probably the best feature coming to the 6S, I still don't think it is worth the upgrade or worth the money just comparing this to the iPhone 6. It is very intuitive to use, very simple to get used to, but I still cannot justify that Force Touch is worth upgrading to the 6S or worth buying the 6S over a cheaper version of an iPhone 6. Of course, that is personal opinion. You will save a bit of time, maybe a few extra clicks on the screen, but I still cannot justify this being the major feature or major selling point of the 6S. I would have loved to see a juicier battery, which leads me to point number 5, decreased battery life. This will apply more for the iPhone 6S as opposed to the 6S Plus, which still has a decent sized battery. But the 6S is now a 715 mAh battery opposed to the 1810 found on the iPhone 6 from last year. But of course, this is Apple and it will never have a removable battery. But if that is your thing, there are other options out there that do have that option, like the LG G4, which comes with a juicier 3000 mAh battery. Plus, it is removable. Store one in your backpack, or if you notice that your battery is dying a bit over time, you can always buy an extra. Those are my top 5 picks or top 5 reasons why you should not grab the brand new iPhone 6s. If you know any others, leave them down below in the comments, and that will hopefully help out people that are still on the fence. And just remember, I'm not saying the 6s is terrible. Never get it. This thing sucks. Maybe it does. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are down below as well. Also, and if you guys found this video of any use, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, as I have my full 6S review coming out in the next couple days, and I will catch everyone else in my next episode. Peace!